I built this entire thing bootstrapped out of $42,000 of my own money and turned it into 20 million grossing, throwing off 3 to 4 million a year. So not bad. Put the MBA to work. My professors were happy. I happened, like a lot of people in life, to be at the right place at the wrong time. And we decided in 2001, I had poured 5 years of my life, 97, 98, 99, building this thing to the 20 million. Then 2000, 2001, paying hundreds of thousands of dollars and all of this to position the business, lawyers and intermediaries and all this to exit. And I'm thinking, okay, 30 something years old, I hopefully will land roughly 20 million bucks. Life's going to be awesome. And so we have an August 2001 closing date to sell the business at just under 19 million. And the PE firm that was going to be making, they're the primary lead acquirer on the deal, their principals said, hey, we want to take some last minute summer vacations with our kids in the Hamptons. So let's move the closing date from August 2001 to the end of September 2001.
Yeah.
And on the 11th, the World Trade Centers get bombed, and we are at war with Al Qaeda and ISIS, and we don't know if there's going to be more assaults on the financial markets, and all M&A activity basically comes to a halt. So I was on a 30-day wrong side of about 19 million bucks. So at that point, I have this like nervous breakdown because I'm like, I've poured my life into this. I did all the right things. The gross revenue, the EBITDA, $1 million of revenue per employee. We had won awards. I had a bidding war between Omnicom and a couple of other agency groups out of Los Angeles. I played this MBA textbook perfect. Multiple bidders, escalating terms. My earnout was slowly going down. The values were going up. It was all to play for. And I had already thought about the 1,000-acre horse farm I was going to buy, the Ferrari list. I had it all built, the 3 cars I was going to, I had my life from the world's carnal view of filling this hole would have looked awesome. But then it doesn't happen, right? They talk about life being timing. So retrospectively, when I tell this story, people say, wow, I bet you were resentful. I bet you were, this, that, and the other thing. And I said, well, I also, through that process, realizing that I wasn't going to find satisfaction in that moment, and in my simple mind, all these material things I'd worked for didn't come through. So I'm like, well, what's next? What am I going to do? What's not worth living, but where do I go from here? That's when I became open for the very first time in my adult life to being put in a situation with some people I respected, to be open to a message from God about, brother, you've been chasing the wrong stuff. And my wife and I also had some conversations. We had a 1-year-old, and she said, I didn't marry you to be the absent husband, absent father, because I don't need the 19 million bucks. She's not high maintenance. She's like, it'd be great, but it's not worth losing the family over, because we get one shot at doing this well and doing it right. And a guy that came alongside of me who had been through 3-4 marriages and had all the stuff in Dallas, guy about 15 years older than me, pulled me aside one day. And he said, let me tell you something, young man. He said, your kids growing up will never remember on the way to the softball game or going for ice cream after the soccer game, whether they were sitting on Ferrari leather or Chevy vinyl. All they'll remember is whether you present or were you at the office. Can't come to Dad and Donuts at the school. Can't show up for the games. Can't be at the scouting. Because in our mind, male and female alike, moms and dads, in some household it's the moms with the success addiction, we say we're doing it for our families, but we're not. We're liars. We're doing it for us.
That was me. That was me.
We
and my
say,
wife would call me out on that time and time again.
We're trying to fill this, because I remember when I got my marketing firm to $5 million in revenue, and I moved into Highland Park, which is the most expensive neighborhood in North Dallas with the historic homes where Jerry Jones lives and everybody else. I felt like I'd made it. And I remember the first Mercedes. I remember the first Porsche. I remember having then the 2 Porsches concurrently. And then I've gotten up to car collections and all that. But it was never enough. It was one more car at the auction. It was one more. Oh, and then we had to move literally 2 blocks to the really swanky address with the bigger homes.
Yeah.
But I'm doing it for my family, right? No, I'm not, because we're trying to fill this.
Right.
And it's never enough. And no matter where you go, who you hang out with, for every guy that's got 100 million, there's somebody with $1 billion. For everybody with $1 billion, there's somebody with $5 billion.
If you want to keep learning from videos like this one, I recommend you check out this video right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast conversation, you can click here.